Hey, my name's Roman Peshke. I run a $10,000 a month AI automation agency, and I record these videos every day, kind of keeping myself accountable, answering questions from you guys in the comments under any and all of these daily update videos. Usually do some live strategy after that, then we wrap up with my YouTube channel growth, which is just a big old spreadsheet where I track how many subscribers we get each and every day. So let's jump into the comments, start bottom to top. And just leave a comment if you have any questions about running an AI automation agency, business in general, or just curious about what I'm up to. And more than happy to respond. I need to chase my dreams, bro, but I'm too lazy. What can I do now? Honestly, dude, what has helped me is just taking a look at what I'm spending my time on during the day and like where I'm getting little cheap dopamine hits, little hits of enjoyment from like low effort things. And then just like deleting the apps off my phone and cutting those things out of my life so that the only thing I can really get enjoyment from is like the work that I'm trying to do. So like I don't have a TV in my room because I used to have a TV in my room and I would just watch Netflix and like anime all day. And I was like, this is not productive. I'd be staying up way too late, and so I got rid of it. And then my productivity went up, and I deleted like YouTube app off my phone because I was watching. Sorry, my voice is kind of gone, but I was watching way too much YouTube on my phone, and so I got rid of it. Congratulations for the 500 subs, my boy. Waiting on the 1K. Hey, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, we crossed 500 yesterday. 500 subs, crushing it. Hey, man, appreciate it. Sorry, excuse me for a second. There we go. All right, congrats for the 500 subs. What's your main way? Oh, he's my school comedian. Treat. Hey, I saw you on the live call on Sunday, so I appreciate that shout out. Congrats for the 500 subs. What's your main way of generating leads for your AI automation business? Do you do cold outreach, like email, calling, etc., or are you running paid ads? Right now, I'm doing I'm doing cold outbound. So I'm scraping Google Maps for my niche in my local area, and then I'm finding the owner's social profiles and anything about them on the website, as well as their LinkedIn. And then I am doing a mostly manual cold email, cold calling, and then hitting them up on all their social profiles too. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, if I can find the personal account, I am reaching out there and then treating them almost like an inbound lead if I were to run paid ads. And what that means is I'm hitting them if I was getting an inbound paid lead, I'd be hitting them 3 times a day, morning, about an hour later, about a couple hours after that. Sorry, not morning. That would be like day 2. When you're getting an inbound lead from paid ads, you typically want to hit them 3 times a day for at least the first 3 days, and then you kind of titrate off. Once within, ideally, like 30, 60 seconds of them opting in, then about like an hour-ish later, and then a 3rd time that same first day. Then you repeat that morning, afternoon, and night for the next 2 days, up to like 5 days, or until they tell you like stop reaching out. Then you trickle off that cadence. You just throw them in a reactivation campaign, then you go from there. So at the start of the week, grab together like 1,000 leads. Then I start running my cold outreach. Each one, go through, try to get 100 outreaches a day. So typically that's like, as the week goes on, it gets a little bit messier, but starts out my apologies. I don't count the initial email, call, and DM as like 3 separate ones, just as like a personal thing, and it takes like 2 seconds in the first one. Then whatever they're most responsive at, I'll kind of narrow in on that touch point. all that is a very roundabout and complicated way of saying I'm doing cold outreach. Light automation to save me some time, but mostly manual with the messages I'm sending over email. I'm obviously calling them myself, and I'm DMing them myself. Then I'm following up multiple times within the first day with the same contact, hitting them again on the second and third day, 2 times each. Then, if there's been no response at all, just kind of mark them red in my little spreadsheet and move on to the next. Now, my background is in running paid ads, so that will be up next once I feel like I've systematized the cold outreach to where I could teach it reliably to other people. Hey Roman, great content. Appreciate the consistency in the Nick style of videos. Nick stopped doing the daily updates, and I had a pending question, so I figured why not ask you? Well, here it is. Nick recommends sell outcomes, not workflows, and to provide guarantees. For risk mitigation, I wanted to ask you about what is the structure of the inner workings of this. If they pay, how do they trust me that I'll actually refund them? If the guarantee is not actually fulfilled, and in contrast, how do I trust they will tell me the truth if increase their conversion rate by 5% is the guarantee I provided? Thank you, bro. Yeah. I didn't know Nick stopped his daily updates. I stopped following his videos when I started doing mine because the format is like the same daily video format, and so I just didn't want to completely just watch his videos and be like, oh, I'm gonna do that, but yeah, that's a bummer. Anyways, back to your question at hand. Yeah, definitely sell outcomes, not workflows. Fully on the same page there. Big on revenue generating activities. Even as time goes on, I've leaned away from the time savings aspect just because you can draw a much clearer return on investment if you're just actively generating the revenue in the business. So, question is, how do you structure the inner workings of your offer so that you actually can enforce the guarantee and all that? So when it's something like increasing their conversion rate by 5%, I would call this a conditional guarantee. And the condition would be you have some sort of contract that you have in place. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of doing proposals where you don't collect the payment information over the phone, but I know the Nick Sariah camp is big on proposals. Last time I checked, the last thing I saw him recommend. So if that's the case in your proposal there, or if you're not doing a proposal in a separate contract or document that you have them sign as kind of an operating agreement between you two, you say your guarantee is that you'll increase their conversion rate by 5%, in the understanding that you have full access to their dashboard or metrics or whatever tool they're using. That way you can actually trust but verify that when they started they were here and now they're at here. That way you're not just putting your blind faith in them and hoping, and you actually have some real data to go with. This will also help you collect social proof and more kind of ammo for your testimonials, because you'll have real metrics that you can lean upon and say, hey, before their conversion rate was X, after working with me it was Y. On average we see a 8.5% jump. Here are all these screenshots of these dashboards where that actually happened, the before and after, blah blah blah. So to make a long story short, for part 2 of this, how do you trust that they tell me the truth? You don't say this in the sales call. You don't call it a conditional guarantee, but you say, we'll even guarantee we increase your conversion rate by 5% or give you all your money back. And if they say yes, as you get more into the technical details and you explain how the guarantee works, say, yeah. And for the guarantee, of course, we want full transparency between me and you. And so just to make sure that we're fulfilling our side of that 5%, like I know our average is 8.5, so I know we're going to blow it out of the water, but we always like to make sure that we do hit that base number for you. So all we need on your side is access to XYZ CRM so that we can see where you're at right now on your page conversions. Screenshot that, throw a date on it, and then in 30 days, take another screenshot, look at where the conversion rate is at now, make sure we're hitting that benchmark for you. Fair? So it'd just be saying something like that, make it a natural process of the whole thing. And really, if you don't frame it as a big deal, it's not going to be a big deal. If one little tool you can use, if they push back on that and ask like why you need it, and you've already explained that it's in order to like be fully transparent and all that, you can always say, oh, it's just the way we've always done it, and then just leave it at that. Then you're kind of like putting it on a third person. I don't know if you have like a business partner or anything, but that makes it even easier because you don't have to make up a person. But you can always just say, oh, it's the way we've always done it. And it's kind of true because it's the way you've always done it in this exact situation because it's your first time. Anyways, back to part one of this question. I wanted to ask you about how do they trust me that I'll actually refund them if the guarantee is not fulfilled? Again, it would just be putting this in the contract, building some level of rapport with the customer during the sales conversation. And then, honestly, if they feel like you screwed them over, or maybe if you did screw them over, they can always call their bank and dispute the charges. So their risk is generally lower in this situation just because they always have that in the back pocket of, oh yeah, this was fraud. Or they can just like go through and request a refund and say that like under their like fraud options, pretty sure there's one you can check that's like not what I signed up for, and then they could just attach a screenshot of your contract that you signed that says that you provide a 5% bump and blah blah blah, and then they could just go through that whole process of getting that refunded if you were a scumbag and you didn't refund them after not hitting your metrics. So as far as like how do they trust that they'll actually refund, I've never had that as an objection like pop up. I think because in the back of their mind they know they can just dispute with the bank. So if you haven't had this come up as like an objection yet, I really wouldn't worry about it. If it does come up, drop another comment, let me know what they said, and then I can help you kind of workshop a response there. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see, we got 510 subscribers. There we go. Let's see, September 15th, 510, bang bang. All right, folks, that's it for today. If you want to see how much money I actually make, there'll be a video around here where I just go through my Stripe accounts in case you think I'm a dirty little course salesman. You can watch it here. If you want to join my school community, link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see all you lovely folks